Hi everybody, it's Jennifer. Welcome back to my channel. Oh, it's one of those days, guys. I am having a moment. I've been trying to do a time-lapse video, and I got so freaking irritated, and I had to stop. I was just getting to the point. I was getting so irritated with it that I said, you know what? Screw this. I'm not in the mood to be trying to do this damn thing today. So I said, yeah. But that brings me to my next piece of news before we start talking about the book talk for this week. I am going to be, if I can stop being so irritated and getting frustrated with the darn thing, I am going to start doing time-lapse videos on Thursdays. The title's going to be Time-Lapse Thursday. I know, kind of corny, but yeah, that's all I could come up with. So, that's why I've been trying for the past 2 days to do a darn time-lapse video, and every time I try, oh my gosh, it seems like I have to stop, restart, stop, over and over again, and it's getting to the point. I was getting so irritated, I said, you know what, screw this, and I have no patience today whatsoever. I just, and it's not, you know, there's nothing bugging me, I just have no patience today. So I don't know if that's, you know, I don't know. So, anyway, that's going to be starting on Thursday. Floss tube video, I have not done one. I'm thinking about doing one every 2 weeks. So, those of you that are, you know, like to watch my floss tube videos, or that, you know, have made the comment that they can't wait to see the next one, I'm going to do one. I just haven't cross-stitched that much this week to even, make it, for it to even be, you know, worth putting it in a video. So, anyway, let's go. As you guys know, I'm working on, still working on the Disney Princess and Princess Ensemble, excuse me. Duh. And I'm telling you guys, it's one of those days. It's like, I just, but as you can see, I'm moving right along on this. I moved it, and now I'm who am I on? I think it's Cinderella. Yeah, Cinderella. Well, getting ready to do Cinderella. Let's put it that way. So, I'm not done with any of my books this week, or yeah. I did start reading book called, or listening to anyway, a book called Act of Treason by Vince Flynn, and I don't have the, oh yes I do, oh my gosh, I'm thinking, you know, it's, let's see, of course it's not going to tell me what it's about, duh, yeah, it's not going to let me see what it's about. Oh, there we go. It's about a CIA agent, operative, whatever his name is. His name is Mitch Rabb, and he is following a trail of contract killers. And the trail leads them directly to basically Washington, D.C. it first led them overseas, and then he and his team find out that basically the person that I guess hired these contract killers was from the United States. So they come back, and they're in the midst now of trying to figure out, where they are, and who these contract killers are. It's not. I haven't gotten any farther than that. So, I just started the book like a couple days ago, so I'm still going through it. But it starts out that the presidential candidate's motorcade is ambushed, and that's how it all starts. And he has to go, and he's been basically tasked to find out, who these contract killers are that, tried to take him out. And the way it's going now, it's not only the presidential candidate, but it's also him, Mitch Rabb, and his boss, and a detective. It's all one of those, government intrigue kind of things. So, like I said, I haven't really I just started it, so I can't really tell you, if it's any good or not. I think I'm only on like the second chapter, so, and it's just now starting. I haven't listened to it, so, but I've read a lot of his book, Vince Flynn's books before, so it's, it's not a first, but it's pretty good. And I did finish North and South, which is the North and South trilogy, which is about the Civil War and two families from this, during the Civil War period that become friends with each other. One is from Pennsylvania. One family's from Pennsylvania. The other is from South Carolina. And they made a miniseries about it on TV a long time ago. And Patrick Swayze was in it. He played in it, and I forget who else was in it. I looked it up on Amazon, and I can't remember everybody who played in it. So that I finished. I finished all three of those books, and now I've started kind of reading a book called The Winds of War. It's about a family that it's about a family that it takes place, I'm sorry, I'm not thinking right today. It takes place during World War I and World War II. And it deals with, Hitler and the Jews and all that. And it's just about how this family deals with being separated from each other. And some of them, are in, have gone off to war. Some of them, aren't. And basically the struggles that they have to deal with, I guess, the atrocities against, Jews, because there is one of the main characters is married to a woman that is a Jew. And so it deals with, that, and how, she dealt with that, and how he dealt with it, and how, the family dealt with it, and it's a pretty good book. It was also on TV, and I you know, I can't. I was gonna Google it, and I didn't even look. So I know I'm not. This isn't going to be the greatest, you know, book talk today. Sorry, guys. Um, and I'm doing this video today because tomorrow is the last day of school for the boys. So we're kind of just going to be vegging out tomorrow after they get home and relaxing and, you know, spending time together and having, you know, fun or whatever. Let's see. Then, I did start listening. Now I finished talking about books. I did start, I was listening to True Crime All the Time on the podcast. Yeah. And I've been trying to, you know, listen to all their episodes. And I didn't pay attention when I was sitting here diamond painting and had the podcast going. And I wasn't paying attention. But they did, I think it was 3 episodes on the BTK killer, and I had to stop and rewind, you know, go back and listen to the episodes again because I didn't hear all of it. So anyway, as you guys know, I don't know how many even know who the BTK killer is. He lived in Wichita. He did get married, and had children. But even though he was married and had children, he killed, I guess, basically all these women. The first family, or the first, I guess his first kill is what you want to call it. That's what they called it. But he killed a whole family. And the way it sounds is that he didn't expect, you know, the whole family to be there. Well, technically the whole family wasn't there, but he wasn't expecting, you know, the husband and the other, I guess there was 2 other children there. He wasn't expecting them to be there. He was expecting, you know, just the woman, you know, the female to be there. And, well, he kind of was surprised. And as I said, I had to go back and listen over again to, you know, the whole thing. But the way he got into these homes, now this is what gets me. Before he started working, now mind you, he worked for ADT, which is alarm company, which I thought is kind of creepy in a way, because okay, to me that's just creepy, you know, but what do I know? So he, you know, I guess before that he worked for the company Coleman, and they make the lanterns, the Coleman lanterns that, you know, you take to go camping. And he that's how he started with his, I guess, his killing spree. I think the first victim, his first victims were people that worked there. Excuse me, sorry. And of course I don't have my thing right there. Excuse me. And he evaded police for 30 years. He did stop killing. I think they said, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna probably have to go back and listen again. But they said he stopped for like 3 years. And they said it was because his wife had their first child. And he didn't kill for 3 years. And then I think after that is when he after, you know, I think it was like 4 years later, he started again. And at that time, he started working, you know, for ADT. And he would gain access to these homes, or, yeah, gain access to, you know, his victims' homes because, he, you know, he installed alarm systems. And I'm sorry, but me personally, that just kind of creeped me out. I was kind of freaked out about that because, yeah. And he, you know, he evaded, you know, the police for like 30 years. And he would taunt the police with letters. And, you know, but this is what I thought was funny and weird, is he's a well-educated person, but he the letters that he wrote to the police, he intentionally made it, I guess he intentionally misspelled words in, you know, the letters, and to make it look like, you know, there was something seriously wrong mentally with, you know, the person, with, you know, him per se. And like I said, the first victim was a family, except for the 15-year-old son, who wasn't at home at the time. He came home the next day and found his whole entire family dead. And he gained access, you know, eventually, instead of, you know, when he did gain access into the home, he would, you know, the way that he got his victims to comply is he told them that he was a wanted criminal, and that, you know, he needed food, he needed transportation, he needed money, and, you know, instead of, then of course, you know, that wasn't the case. And I was listening and I'm like, okay, you know, this guy, you know, and I'm not saying, you know, everybody's like this, because it just totally blew me away that this guy could be, he could sit here, he's talking about what he's done like I'm talking to you guys. It was just like he was having a normal conversation with the police about what he did. And he didn't call them his victims. They were called projects. And he had a certain, you know, I guess a process that he used to find these projects. It was Stroll, I think it was, the first one was Troll, and then he stalked, and then he killed. And I was just like, okay. And he described his, you know, whatever kind of, I forget the name of the kit. What was the name of the kit? Of course, I didn't think to write that part down. But he had a kit that he used specifically for this. And there were some similarities between him and I guess the Zodiac Killer. And I was just, it just made, like I said, you know, and I probably said this before in my, you know, in these talks, it just made me sit there and go, huh? Because he had no remorse. He had no, you know, it was like he just didn't care. And then it came out that he had a treehouse that I guess, you know, people at first thought, and the police, you know, first thought that it was for his child, you know, for his, you know, children, but it's not, it wasn't, it was for him. And he would take trophies to this treehouse where he would have these sexual fantasies. And it just, I just, it kind of blew me away. Because I was like, okay, seriously? And he just, I mean, he just didn't, but then, you know, when the police asked him in the interrogation about, you know, these fantasies, he just didn't want to talk about them. And I'm not sure why. He just kept saying, you know, I don't want to talk about it. And they would, you know, go on to something else. And then he would, you know, then they would come back and try to get him to talk about it. And he just didn't want to talk about it. And which was kind of like, okay, you just don't want to talk about it. Okay, fine. And the funny part is, now this is the weird part. This is the kind of creepy part. He ended up, one of his victims ended up being somebody that lived like, I think it was like a street, not a street, but I guess lived like 4 or 5 doors down from him. And I was like, okay, this woman knows them, you know, knows his you know, knows his, you know, wife and knows him, and okay. But yeah, it was just like, okay. I mean, and even there were even times that he was, you know, when he was doing the, you know, when he was confessing and saying, telling the police what, you know, he did, he told them there was a couple of times that, you know, his projects would bring home guests. And he would wait until he would be in the house, but he would wait in a closet for their guests to leave before he did anything. And to me, that's creepy. And he went into, you know, how he did this. And, you know, I'm not going to go into detail about that because it just kind of, yeah. I was like, okay, no. I don't even want to go there because that's just freaking weird. And I mean, you know, and I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to talk about it, but it just, it's weird and it's creepy, I guess. At least for me, because I mean, I like true crime like that, but gosh, my freaking thing's being stupid today. Sorry, guys. I mean, I like true crime and all that, but when you're sitting there talking and listening to this guy who has no emotion whatsoever, and he's telling you, you know, step by step what he did, it just kind of creeped me out. I had to push pause on the episode a couple of times because I was just creeped out. I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. It was weird. I'll just put it this way. It was very weird. And I was just like, I mean, he talked about using pantyhose. Um, he did use rope at one point. Um, Gosh, guys, it's been a while since I've listened to this, so bear with me because it's been like, it was a week ago. And I can't remember everything. Um, he had no empathy whatsoever. He had no remorse. He had no guilt. At one point, he started laughing about, what he done. And, they asked him, why are you laughing? He just, said it, he just came up with this excuse of, this is, how I am. And they asked him, and you don't, have any remorse for what you've done? And he said, no. He said they were projects to me, and, and it just boggles my mind how somebody like that could be, married and have a child, and, or actually 2 children, and, it's not like he didn't have any kind of feelings, because obviously he did if, he's married, and, and he's been married for however long, I guess in the whole time, and it just, it makes me wonder sometimes. So that was kind of an interesting podcast because it covered, I listened, mind you, it was like divided into 4 episodes or 4, podcasts, and, and no, I didn't cover everything because some of it was just kind of it was creepy. That's all I can say. And it just kind of, bothered me. I know I shouldn't be bothered because I like stuff like, a true crime like that, but yeah, it kind of blew me away. Gosh, I'm trying to think. Mm. I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me. That's really all I have for that this week. I did want to let you guys know I am trying. I know a lot of other people have been doing this, and I'm trying to research this before I start, doing this, and then, I get in trouble or something along the line. A lot of people have been, I guess, doing drill with me's and recording the video and then doing, voiceover of reading a book. And because I've had a couple people ask me, if I, would be interested in doing that. And my son, little dude, wanted me to do Harry Potter, but I don't know the gist of the copyright. And I tried Googling it last night to see, and I didn't come up with anything, and everything. I guess I'm just totally clueless and brainless. I don't know, because I didn't understand half of what they said. And I know one person had stated on the site that I Googled or whatever, said that, you have to look in the book, I guess, where, I guess where, the copyright and all that kind of crap is, and where it's published at, whether or not you can, I guess, use it for yourself or not. So I don't know if that's the case. If anybody knows, let me know, because I kind of don't want to, disappoint. I mean, and if there's, if it's not eligible and we can't, it's not, and it's illegal, then I won't do it. Because, I mean, I would like to, but I just don't know if there's certain books that, you have to, you know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure that out. Because if I do, then that's going to be, something that I will do, I haven't decided yet. So, and I mean, just let me know, guys. You can comment on the bottom of this video. This is going out Friday. I was going to do it tomorrow. I mean, today's Thursday, but I was going to record the video tomorrow. But like I said earlier, I got so irritated with trying to do time lapse, so I just went ahead and recorded today's, book talk, that tomorrow's book talk now, so that way it'll be done and I can schedule it and edit it and do whatever, and it'll come out tomorrow. So by the time you all see this, it will be Friday. So, I will not, no, of course, you know why I'm doing it today, because we're going to be spending quality time with the boys tomorrow. So, and I just need a break. I just need to rest. I'm tired and headache, and I'm just trying to get myself situated before they're home. And then I got to sit down tomorrow and figure out, when the best time to do videos is, or to record videos when they're home, or if I should just make a day and just sit down and record a week's worth of Drill With Me's for, that come out on Monday. I know I'm probably making it work harder than it is, but I'm just trying to get myself somewhat organized for the summer. So, I think that's it, guys. And I'm sorry, this is kind of one of those videos where I don't have a whole lot to tell you about. I'm not doing very good on the book talk videos, and I'm sorry. I will try to do better for next week. And it's just been one of those days, and I'm starting to get a headache, and yeah, it's crazy today. So, alright, well, that's it for me today, guys. And I know it's only 35 minutes long. I'm sorry. I apologize, but no, I don't apologize. I'm sorry. But anyway, I will try to go live on Saturday. As it stands now, I will probably be going live Saturday. It will probably be at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just because we have tentative plans on Saturday to do some things with friends. Depending. So, I will see you all next time. If you are subscribed, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. If you like my video, hit the like button. Questions and comments below. I will answer them as quickly and as possibly, as soon as I can. And until then, you guys have a great day and a good weekend. And I will see you all next time. God bless.